Hello and welcome to my practice. My name is Evelyn, a yoga instructor here with you. And today in our Vinyasa Flow practice, we will give a little extra love to our hip area. So the sequence, the practice will focus on our hips. And just with every practice, it's really truly it depends where you put your attention to, where you focus. So we a little bit isolate our attention to the hip area, opening it, lubricating and strengthen. So I hope it will be useful for you and you will enjoy. Let's start in child pose today. If you have a block, bring a block handy. We might need, might not, but it's always useful to have a block and some props during the practice. So just let's settle in your child pose. Maybe bringing the arms forward. You can already use a block to put it under your forehead. And if you open the knees a little wider and put the big toes together, you notice that it's usually very comfortable for the hips. You can relax your tailbone a little bit more. And just settle in that shape. Feel grounded on your knees, on the forehead, and allow the hips to just settle and relax. Drop the tailbone down, maybe creating Ujjayi breathing, and that help us to maintain our mind to the present. Just gently narrowing the throat. And then you hear the ocean sound as you exhale. Keep breathing through the nose, inhale and exhale. And find a steady rhythm. The breath is slow, calm, no stress. Draw your lower belly in, press it to the spine. Firming the core muscles that keep stability. Drawing the lower belly in and pulling up to the navel, engaging Uddiyana Bandha. Then bring the hands under the shoulder and come up to your tabletop, fluidly coming up. Put a little more weight on all 10 fingers. Maybe sway back and forth a little bit. And then maybe circling the hip area, a little bit lubricating. Bring your attention, your focus to your hips. And move without any force. Moving intuitively. And then maybe a few cat and cows. Tailbone dropping and then tailbone lifting. Gently opening the hip area already. Feel the connection between the tailbone and the hips. Opening up the space. And then come to a neutral spine, tuck the tailbones, tuck the toes under and come to upward facing dog. And just continue moving. Swaying the hips. Continue with Ujjayi breathing to stay in the present. Pressing one hand down, then the other. Pressing one heel down, then the other. And then find your still downward facing dog. You equally pressing the ground away with both hands, both feet, and lifting the tailbone away, drawing the lower belly in. Take a deep inhale and come to a three-legged dog, lifting up the right leg. Keep down the right hip to square with the left. So find stability around the hip area. One more deep inhale, lift the right heels a little more up. And then bend your right knee, lift the right knee up and lower down the right toes. Now we're opening the hip. Opening the right hip above the left. Gently tucking the tailbone under. So find that the hip and the pelvis area is stable, but still open. Take one more deep inhale and lift the right leg up. Square the right hip again. Tuck the tailbone under and draw the belly in. Then bring the right feet outside of the right hand. Coming to this lizard pose, just the first time in the game, just swaying front and back, a little more weight on the right leg, a little more weight on the left leg. Keep drawing the lower belly in and keep tucking the tailbone under. And bring all your focus to hip area, just explore. Do you feel any knots there? Any tightening? Any blockages? Sway around the hips to open up to lubricate. Circling to the right and then circling to the left. And then lower down the left knee. Bring the right hand on the right knee and a little bit open up the right hip above the left. Opening the right rib cage. Opening the right shoulder. And without tightening, just drop down the tailbone and release a little bit. Dropping down the pelvis. If you want to go deeper, and I know this is just the beginning, just to warm up, so it's maybe not accessible yet, to bend the left knee and grab the left feet with the right hand. If it's available, then feel you turning under the tailbone just very gently. And there is a little stretch in the left psoas here. Keep pulling in the lower belly. Keep engaging Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. And then release the feet, bring the hands back, lift the left knee up, press both hands down, and step back the right leg to high plank. Sway again forward and back in your high plank. Draw the lower belly in, close the rib cage, plug the shoulder blades down. Lower down the entire torso, straight down on the ground, then pull the hands forward. Elbows down, forearm down, tuck the tailbone under, push down the top of the feet, press the hands down, and bring the ribcage forward, the chest forward. Pull down the shoulder blades and the shoulder. Start engaging the back muscles and lift the lower ribs up, chin up. Press the hands down and maybe lifting up the elbow if it's available. Then lower it back down. Push down the pubic bone, push down the hips and open the ribcage away. Creating again a little more space. Engage the hamstring, engage your glutes, tuck the tailbone under. Breathe into that area to find still freedom there. And lowering back down. Put the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes under, push up to high plank, downward facing dog again. Moving to the other side, lift the left leg up. Keep down the left hip first. So three-legged dog,
squaring the hips. Tailbone goes up to the ceiling, the lower belly engaged. Space is wide between the two hips. Push both hands down equally. Then bend your knee to lift the left knee up. Left hip above the right hip. Tuck the tailbone under and re-engage the lower belly. Space between the hips. Draw the ribcage in and lift away from the hip. Then straightening the left leg, reach up the toes, then step the left feet outside of the left hand. Float a little bit back and forth, draw the lower belly in, maybe circles with the hip. Open that space. So we're really rooting down through the feet to create stability, and from there we can really explore that we can find more space between the hips, between the tailbone and the navel. And then lowering down the left knee, right knee, put the left hand on the right knee, left knee, I'm sorry. And lower down the tailbone. Release down the hip and the pelvis and open up the left rib cage, the left shoulder. Then bring your focus, your attention to the hip area. Notice the tightness. Notice any forceful movement, forceful holding. Breathe into it. Tuck under the tailbone and lift the lower belly in. Again, if you want a little deeper, maybe a right psoas, opening, grab the feet, bend the right knee, grab the feet with the left hand. A little bit lower under the tailbone, lift the lower belly, and just allow that stretch, not forcing. Lift the ribcage away from the hips. Breathe space into it. Just allow the stretch. No any forcefulness. Then release the feet, lower the feet down, lift the right knee up. Step back to your high plank. And this time we just float through Chaturanga. So elbows stay close to the ribcage as you lower down. Then bring the chest, the ribcage forward. Then chin up. Loop down the shoulder blades and the shoulders on the back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, pushing down the heels, lifting the tailbone, drawing the lower belly in. Three-legged dog again, right leg lifting up, bend your knee. And this time if you feel flipping the dog, it's your choice. Lowering down the right leg, opening up the stretch a little deeper, hip opener. Tucking the tailbone under, lifting the ribcage away. Lower the hand down back to a three-legged dog. Then this time stepping the right feet between the hands. Lowering down the left knee, and just a few times. Floating through pyramid and back to low lunge. So press the feet down, lift the pelvis up. Space between the hips, draw the belly in, floating back down to low lunge, plug down the shoulder blades. Focus your mind in the hip area, few more times, up to pyramid. Lowering down, tuck the tailbone under, chest up. One more time. Lowering the knee down, then bring both hands on the right knee. Flattening the left feet, coming to Kapiyasana. Bring the arms forward, reach the ribcage up, sink the hip down, sink the pelvis down. Connect the left knee with the right heel. Plug the tailbone under and feel as you're lifting the ribcage away from the hip. Sink the pelvis, lift the pelvic floor, lift the Mula Bandha. No force here, just exploring space. Releasing the arms down, tuck the right left toes under, lift the left knee up, tuck the tailbone under, pull the lower belly in and come to a Crescent lunge. Sink the tailbone down, bring forward the right hip, bring forward the left hip and pull back the right hip, lift the ribcage up. Engage your glutes for stability and then you can open the hip maybe and lift the ribcage a little more away. One more deep inhale, lower the arm down, keep the left hand down, open the right arm in a simple twist. Lift the pelvic floor and roll on the outer edge of both feet. If it's available, if not, always feel free to lower the left knee first down and just repeat that hip opener what we did at the beginning. Lift the rib cage, close it and bring it away from the hip. Bring the arm down, come to a lunge, step back to a high plank. Through Chaturanga, we meet in downward facing dog. Three-legged dog again, the left leg lifting, keep the left hip first down. Then bend your knee and open the left hip above the right, draw the belly in, push the ground away with the hands, and again if you want to flip the dog, do so. Lift the hips, widen space between the hips, tuck the tailbone under, close the rib cage, and lift the back of the heart up. Coming back, floating back to three-legged dog. Then bring the left knee to the chest, step between the hands. Lower down the right knee, plug the shoulder blades down, reach the chest up. Few times, float to pyramid. Just keeping the hip area free, floating back down to low lunge. 2 more times. Keep your mind with the transition. Connect with the hip area and just notice and acknowledge how it feels around there. What you can modify and adjust to bring freedom there. Then bring the hands on your knees. Lower down the tailbone, engage the lower belly. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, then bring the arms up. Move around to find more space. Notice what's rooting down the right knee and the left heel, and from there, Mula Bandha lifting, Uddiyana Bandha lifting. Tailbone tuck under and the rib cage lifting away from the hip. Breathing in. Just lowering the arms down. Keep the right hand down. Lift up the right knee. Simple twist. Lifting the left rib cage up. Lifting the right rib cage up. And then roll on the other edge of the feet. Lift the pelvis up. Release the tailbone to the back and lift the lower belly up. Push both feet down and lift the pelvis. Tuck the shoulder blade down. And then bringing the hands back. Keeping the right knee up this time. Draw your belly in and bring up the arms. Tuck the tailbone under. Lift the lower belly. Lock down the shoulder blades. Unite the body parts. Reach the rib cage up. Lowering down. Press the hands down, step back to your high plank, Chaturanga. Nice, up to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here. Breathe out. One more time, breathe in. Draw the belly in, close the ribcage. Keep elongating the spine. Inhale, reach the lift the heels up, draw the belly in, bend your knee, look forward, step, walk or jump to the front of the mat. Inhalation, reach forward the chest, fold the chest on your thighs, exhalation. One more deep inhale, reach the chest forward, then step the feet about hip distance, then lower the pelvis down. Squat, yoga squat, bring the hands to your heart, and let's really release the hip and the pelvis area. Push the heels down and lift the lower belly in. Breathe. One more deep breath here. And then exhale. Bring the hands down, bring the pelvis up, bring the feet back together. One more deep inhale to your flat back, bring the ribcage forward. Fold on your thighs again, exhale, push the heels down, lift the pelvic floor up, stretching the hamstring. Floating the torso up, draw the belly in and roll the spine up. Build this up, arms coming up, float up, lift the ribcage, then bring the hand to the heart, exhalation. Free Surya Namaskar, B. Deep inhale, bend the knee, chair pose, inhale, arms bringing up. Exhale, float the arms down. Flat back with an inhale. Step or jump back, Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Bring the right leg up, reach up. Step between the hands, exhale, lower down the left heel. Lift the pelvic floor up, tuck the tailbone under, bring the torso up. First time, let's just find the alignment of your first warrior. Both heels pressing down, lifting the pelvis up, pelvic floor up, tucking the tailbone under, bring the left hip forward, the right hip back. At the same time, widen the space, breathing between the hips. Lift the rib cage up and keep the distance between the hips and the rib cage as you lower the arm down. Press the hands down. Step back, high plank, Chaturanga, just an option. We will meet in downward facing dog. Lift the left leg up, three-legged dog. Stepping between the hands. Lower the right heel down. Space between the hips, space between the left thigh and the belly. Tuck the tailbone under, stabilize the hip area, and bring the torso up. So in first warrior, we really find the stability in the hip and see the function of it, how much it stabilizes the entire posture. When the hip is stable but open at the same time. Deep inhale, reach the rib cage up, away from the right heel. Keep that distance, keep the freedom in the hip area. Keep the tailbone to the back as you lower your arm back to high plank and Chaturanga. Chest forward and up. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Long spine, long back, long hamstring. Inhale, heels lifting. Look forward, bend your knees, step, walk or jump. Flat back with an inhale. Folding on your thighs as you exhale. Chair pose with the next inhale. Hand to heart. Exhale. Let's repeat 2 more times, fluidly flowing. Chair pose, inhale, belly in, ribcage in. Floating, forward fold. Flat back, inhale. Step or jump back, Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Float to downward facing dog. Right leg lifting, inhale. Stepping forward, exhale. Rising up to first warrior, space in the hips. Float the arms down, Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifting, space between the hips. Draw the belly in, step forward. Rise up to first warrior. Floating the arms down, stepping back, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Inhale, heels lifting, drawing the belly in as you make your way to the front. Flat back just to engage with the core. Keep the core engaged as you float forward down. Chair pose, sit deeper, throwing the belly in and lifting the ribcage. Hand to heart. Exhale. One last time. Chair pose. Inhale. Float the torso down. Exhale. Flat back. Inhale. Step or jump back. Exhalation. Inhale. Open the front line. Exhale. Open your back. Right leg lifting in. Stepping forward. Exhale. First warrior. Inhale. Lower the arms. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale. Open the front. Exhale. Open the back. Left leg lifting. Left leg stepping forward. Find your base. Inhale, first warrior. Exhalation, keep the spine long, Chaturanga. Open the front. Open the back this time, we're staying here. Deep inhale, opening the back. Closing the rib cage, lowering the shoulder blades down. Stabilizing the hips, regulating the breathing. Inhale, right leg lifting, stepping forward, the right leg. Rising up to crescent lunge. Tailbone down, left hip forward, right hip back. Freedom as you lift the rib cage out. Bring the hands to your heart. Bring the torso gently forward. Keep looping the shoulder blades down. We will transition to figure 4. Press the right feet down. Lift the pelvic floor. Lift the lower belly. That really helps you to stabilize. And then bring the left ankle on the right thigh. Release the left knee. Sit a little deeper, just like you did in chair pose. That opens the hip. Breathe in it. Eyes on a single point. And we will grabbing the big toe with the peace finger, bringing the right hand on the hip. Press the right heel down. Lifting the pelvic floor and bringing the left leg to the side. We can stay here or we can open the left leg to the side. Keep your eyes steady and still. Keep the tailbone down. Opening the hip a little wider. And bringing the left leg forward. Release. Lift the ribcage up. Arms framing the head. Then bring the hand to the heart. Third warrior. Press the lower belly in, lifting the left leg to the back. Arms might frame the head. Lowering the hands down to 3-point balance if you have a block. Keep the right hand on the block. And then opening balancing half moon, lifting the left hip above the right, tucking the tailbone under, space between the hips. Open up to release any compression, ribcage forward. And then back to 3-point balance. Lift the left leg up one more time, then step back, Chaturanga. This time the left leg lifting in 3-legged dog. Left feet between the hands. Christian lunge, we're rising up, keeping the hips forward and square. Tucking the tailbone under, lifting the torso away from the hip to make more space. So the hip is more free if there is no compression in it. Bring the hand to the heart, bring the weight a little forward, transitioning to figure 4, keeping the core engaged. Releasing the right knee to the side. That's a hip opener, IT band opener. Then bring the left hand on the hip, grab the right big toe with the peace finger. Bring the leg to the side. You might just want to stay here, and it's really a perfect opening for the hips if you tuck the tailbone under and leave the ribcage away. But there is a choice to open the leg to the side. Tucking the tailbone under, lifting the pelvic floor, and lifting the lower belly in and up. Stabilize. Keep your eyes steady and still, and your mind. And bring the right leg forward. Keep tucking the tailbone under. More space in the hip area that's really challenging. But exploration is there. Transition to third warrior. Pulling down the right hip. Three-point balance. Transition gently. Balancing half moon, keeping the left hand down and just opening the right hip above the left. Allow the tailbone to go to the right heel. Drawing the lower belly in and closing the rib cage. 3-point balance again. Stepping back, high plank. Chaturanga. And downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, reach the, lifting the tailbone up, lifting the heels up. Either jump through or just jumping between the hands. And lowering the sit down. And coming to a seated Baddha Konasana. That's a great way to open the hips. Grabbing the big toes. Few butterfly here. Feel the sit bones as it roots down. Feel the rib cage lifting away from the hips. And come forward as much as it's available. externally lifting up and rotating the thigh muscles, the hips up. So if you're lifting up, that create a little more space. So lifting and externally rotating the inner thighs. And just relax in this stretch and notice if there is no any force, you're really opening it much more deep. Drawing the belly in, lifting the rib cage forward. From your roots. Coming back. Coming to a janu, lengthening the left leg, bringing the right inner sole in the inner thigh, drawing the belly in, really lengthening the torso, bring the arm up, bring the chin to the chest, and as you draw the belly in, you're folding on the left leg. Clasp the fingers under the left thigh, left feet. Draw the belly in. Keep down both sit bones. Externally rotating the right thighs. Breathe into it. Coming back, changing legs. It's also great hip opener, janu is. Press down the right hamstring, the back of the right leg, both sit bones, and grow out, lifting from the hip. Bring both arms up, reach far, lift the entire torso out from the legs. Bring the chin to the chest and coiling down. Clasp the fingers and bring it under the right ball of the feet. Externally rotating the left thigh. Keep space between the belly and the right thigh. Keep down the shoulder blade on the back. And coming up, bring the torso out. Coming back to Baddha Konasana just for a moment, grabbing the big toes with the peace finger, pull the belly in, draw it in, bring the weight on the seat, lifting maybe up the feet and opening to the side. Drawing the belly in and lifting the torso. Open the hips wider. Sit bone down. Externally rotating the inner thighs. And then bring the feet consciously, controlling the movement. Bring back to Baddha Konasana, then lift the knees up. Roll down on your back. And once you're done, crossing the right leg on the left thigh, lifting the left thigh up, press the fingers, supine pigeon. Plug down the shoulder blades, bring the shoulders away from the ear, lower down the chin, and the back of your neck is flat, using only your arm muscles. Nice deep stretch in the IT band. Really opens the hip, really helps to make more space. Plucking the tailbone down, that's very important to not watch the lower back here. And then release the pigeon, and find the other side. Relax the left leg, press the fingers under the right thigh. Draw the lower belly in, press to the spine. Keep the tailbone to the front. Long and flat back. Plugging the shoulder blade down. Relaxing here. And release, grab the big toes with the peace finger, keeping the knees to the side, and come to a happy baby. Such a great hip opener here. And lifting the legs up. Keeping the arms alongside the body, the palms facing down. A very gentle inversion. Draw the belly in. Then keep the arms wherever it is. Bend your knee. And come to a bridge pose. Heels will be close to the glutes. Plugging the tailbone under. Push the heels down, push the palms down, push the shoulders down, and start lifting the pelvis with tucking the tailbone forward. Tailbone comes forward, both hips lifting up towards the sky, engaging the hamstring, engaging the inner thighs. Bring the chest closer to the chin. Keep pressing the heels down equally. Then slowly lower it back down. Shaking the legs maybe. Then create a diamond shape with the legs, so the feet together. And then create a diamond shape with your hands, so the right palm above the left palm or the opposite. Few breaths here. Pulling the lower belly in, drawing the tailbone forward, and as you draw the lower belly in, your back is flat on a mat. Great way to open the hips, relaxing the knees, maybe changing hands. And then straightening the legs and find your way to Shavasana. Now really relaxing the hips, breathe into it, bring your focus to the hip and the pelvis area, and just allow it to relax all the muscles around there. Breathe in and allow the muscles in the legs to relax. Breathe in, and as you exhale, relax your belly. Breathe in, and as you exhale, relax your chest. Relax your arms. Relax your face. And at the end of the practice, enjoy that mindful relaxation. Now the light in me honors the light in you with peace. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. And I hope the practice serves you, connecting with yourself and creating a healthier physical body and a healthier mind. See you the next time on the mat.